Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here today with Dr. Sharon Sling. Sharon, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. It's always a pleasure to see you and talk with you.
It's actually back to the show. She's got green stamps. She's coming back on a regular basis.
I love coming back.
So the topic today is limiting distractions. ADHD is very much an issue of self-regulation, and you want to limit distractions because that's tempting. It's like, forgive me, putting a beer in front of an alcoholic. You really don't want to tempt yourself. So it sounds easy to do, not exceptionally. It sounds easy to do. I'm not so sure it's easy to execute. But just tell us about your thoughts on this.
Well, my thoughts are particularly around the screen.
Okay.
So what happens is most of us do our work on the computer, and what we need to do is open two separate browsers. One browser is for our work. The second browser is for the fun stuff, and we keep that minimized.
Okay.
Set a timer for yourself. Figure out how long you can work before you need a break. And then take a break. So if you can work for 30 minutes and then you need a little break, set your timer, have it go off. Take a Post-it of what you're doing, put it right on your screen. Then, if you want to bring up your alternative browser, you can do some of the fun stuff with another timer set. So when the timer goes off, you exit that. It would also work on your watch. You get up, you go to the bathroom. So you want to set a time that you're going to work and limit the distractions, but give yourself clues as to what to do when you go back.
Let's talk about that. You said put a Post-it on your computer. Is that a clue?
That's a clue. It's a cue. It's a cue clue. So essentially it cues you about where you were, but it also, the content says, here's a clue of what we were doing. And if you want to do other fun stuff on your computer, then put it on up in the top left corner, do your fun stuff. When your timer goes off, minimize again, and then do the work that you were doing before.
So I want to tie this into, I'm a big fan of this, but I want to tie this into some other videos that we've done. I've done one on working memory, and I talk about the rebooting. When you boot up a computer, the operating system's got to load up, everything's got to get ready, and it's very, very effortful. That's like when you sit down to think about something, your mind's got to boot up. It requires a lot of executive functioning.
Exactly.
And it's very effortful. A lot of people complain, I have a hard time getting started. Once you get your head into it, it's okay, but it's that effort to get your mind booted up. And this, I talk a lot about the concept of hibernating your computer, so you don't have to boot it up from the beginning. And for me, when I'm working with clients, whenever I'm with them, I dictate just a stream of consciousness at the end of the call. It's not even really my notes, because when I read that stream of consciousness next time, it takes me back. I can remember that phone call. And so effectively that Post-it is really shortcutting that rebooting process.
Correct.
So when you take that break and you go, you got to come back and it's helping you hibernate. And I think this is a real key important why this is actually working, is because if it's too effortful for you to recall everything that you're doing, it makes it harder to self-regulate. Where there's two sides, is you're giving yourself a break, but you're actually giving yourself back relatively really quick.
Exactly, that's true. And you can also leave yourself a clue in the work you're doing. So what I'll do sometimes when I'm writing something is I'll be like, wow, I need a break, or I have to stop, I have a client. I'll throw out a couple ideas of what I'm working on right there, and I'll just stream of consciousness. So when I come back, I can see those, and then it'll trigger me to remember what they were.
So we're controlling the temptation.
That's right.
We're using the timing, and we're working with the working memory side to make it easier for you to self-regulate. So there's a lot. It's a simple thing, but there's a lot of concepts in here, which is why it's actually working, which I think is really important.
Right.
So we're just not making this stuff up. There's a little reason why it's
Exactly. And what I think is really great, what you said is we're relying on a few very specific executive functioning skills. We're talking generally about sustained attention, but we're relying on some time management, we're relying on working memory, and we're relying on self-regulation. So these are all tied together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those insights. I appreciate you on the show.
You're welcome. Great to be here.
Take care, everybody.